Now's his chance to prove if he is able to compete against what a lot of people think is the best pistol whip player, Proper D.
Yes, but Krios actually started off real strong, so if that was his warm-up, I think we may end up seeing a really strong performance for him. Granted, remember, this is the endurance map. He did not pick this one. Proper D did, so we'll have to see how that affects his performance in this one. I think he may be ready for it. Barely dodging these bullets. Making me nervous. Is it making you nervous, Knight?
Yeah, the thing in this game that really is it spirals. You spiral downhill so fast. You miss one shot, you go back to hit it. I got this. You missed it again. Now you're in trouble. You just missed the same target twice and you've wasted time and you're off beat.
Oh, yeah, so when you get off, so the whole game, so it seems like that's what Proper D's been teaching us, is that the maps are meant to be played perfect. If you're making mistakes, then you're just going to be a mistake and run the whole way through. Recovery, I think, is going to be the name of the game.
Again, we have him missing a double. He goes back for the shot and misses it again, and it puts him in a tough spot. But he manages to get through this sequence. That was a fantastic recovery. Wow, what a great job.
That back bend dodge as it goes to light up these guys. It goes for a nice swipe. That was a smart move. I did not actually see that from Proper D, where he lit up the guys on the left, so he had everybody on the right-hand side for a right swipe.
Yeah, that was a nice little strat there. Now he's coming in through this sequence that Proper had a little bit of a struggle on, and you can see he's having just a little bit of issues here, and he's got to move a little bit more than he maybe wants to on this endurance map right now, since he has to dodge these bullets. He can't afford a single touch right now.
Oh, yes, he's going to have to hold on tight in order to get the score that he wants. The score he has to beat, remember, is 510,400. I think he's on his way to doing it, though. Remember, Proper D did leave some targets untouched.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh, he didn't do the same strat this time.
These quads right here, that's a lot of points. That is
was that auto fire? That was some super fast fire in there.
Fast firing on the 16th note. He's still hammering it on beat, so he's still getting the beat score, and he's hitting his target, so he's getting 200s on those.
For those of you just tuning in, this is Krios' run in round 2 up against Proper D, and I think he's putting up a great fight in this endurance track. This is the one selected by Proper D. He has one more after this is the one that he's selected. We'll have to see how he ends up doing, but I think he's going to post up a really good score as long as he can avoid getting hit.
Yeah, this landing sequence is not easy. There's a lot of up and a lot of verticality, a lot of left, right, a lot of those we were talking about earlier. He almost moved out of his whole play space there. He had to get so physical.
Yes! That is how it's done, man.
Yeah, that might get him the lead on that sequence there. If he stays untouched throughout this part, I think he might have the lead based off those quads.
I think Krios is really showing us how this game is meant to be played, especially under pressure. It's very hard to become under pressure in a competitive game. I mean, it's really funny. It's hard for people to explain the kind of pressure you feel in a competitive game because people are like, oh, I know pressure, but in competitive VR, I don't know if it's like the fact that you're also in the game when you're doing it. Sometimes you can kind of zone out. You're like, oh, I'm in a VR game, but like in the back of your mind, you know what's on the line, and it just gets to you. People who can go at oh, he's ready. He's showing us how it's done. Nightfire, tell us a little bit what you expect to see.
He's doing well so far. We've
got 150.
Another build-up sequence here. Again, the half circles. He's got to get through a lot of movement through the play space.
Oh, and the dance break. Everybody's favorite part. Don't get shot from behind, baby. Oh, I found myself just yelling at the screen. The hype is real, and the stress is getting to me.
This is not an easy sequence. He's managing to tag a couple up and over, and he's actually doing full 180s down this solo. I mean, this is insane to see those 180s to try and commit to getting those extra points. He's just so familiar with the sequencing, and we talked about.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew there was no way, but he's at the very end of the track.
Yeah,
but, oh man, I really thought.
Late.
I was like, I'm gonna grab a drink out of this bottle next to me because there's no way I can handle the stress unmodified. As he gives us a nice show. Oh man. He knows he lost his multiplier there, but he might have picked up enough points there for it not to matter. Too bad. We'll have to see.
You know, it's interesting. It's where the endurance really comes into play. Because it's such a long map, you have so many spots where you just can't afford to make mistakes.
You have to stay on point the whole time.
I know he had, which is why I think it's going to be pretty close. I do still think it's going to be pretty close. His sequences where the reason we call him quads is because it takes 4 bullets to kill him. The sequences where he's killing those quads, he's getting a lot more points than I think Proper was through that.
All right, Chad, give me your best guess at what score you think he's going to throw up at the end of this track. Whoever gets the closest without going over wins. What do you win? A shout out from Poonanders. That's the only thing I've got to give you. Still
worth a
no.
good bit.
It's not too bad. I'll do it in my best Poonanders voice. All right, let's see what he gets here. As he gets his last pistol whip. He's still excited. He still feels it. He knows he has another track after this. I hope he didn't get worn out from that one, though. Just the stress of that track is unreal.
Yeah, it's a tall order.
Oh, no. 492-855. That is a great deal behind. I believe almost 18. Yeah, just a little short of 18,000 behind the score that we got from Proper D.
Yeah,
those hits cost you, man. Those hits cost you.
They are usually a death sentence. Unless you're at the end of a song. Yeah, I know. Unless you're at the end of the song, it's going to kill your score line if your opponent didn't get hit. It's interesting. It almost makes you wonder, in a tournament environment, is it more worthwhile to sacrifice hitting a couple of guys because you have to focus on dodging these bullets to maintain that ×8?
Now, I'm doing the math, and I don't see where he can make up 18,000 points on this next map.
Yeah, Proper went pretty clean.
Yeah, well, he got plenty of Fs in the chat, so there's at least that.